Hello Fabrizio, nice to have you here.
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Are you here for the riots?
No.
All right.
Really, no.
So let's talk about your home country, Brazil, and the band in the Cimex. How has the band affected the punk rock in Brazil?
The punk rock in Brazil, like I would say that in Brazil, like back in the days, like 86, 87, they released like records with like Swedish bands, and Cimex was one of them. And then it was, I don't know how to explain the impact where it just like got in with people. They're like the hardcore feeling thing.
So what makes them so special?
I think like in Brazil, usually if you like fucked up people living there, you have like a lot of hate, and I think like they translate like hate in music, like they put this anger, anguish thing in the music. It's fucking that was like how I feel when I listen like first time on Cimex actually.
All right, but as you were living like in a dictatorship, how did you generate the hate, or do you just imported the tunes?
No, it's not important. It's more like not exactly important, but it's an understanding of like how it happened, and it was happening in Europe and in North America. But then we took to ourselves like our own anger and hate, and used this music to it was the perfect translation of the feeling, the music.
But you got also like we could look it from our Nordic countries like a fascination of Swedish and Finnish raw punk that you love a bit. So how much?
I cannot say like a lot about like other countries, but I know that it's like in Brazil it's a special fascination because like it was like the records, like Finnish and Swedish records were released like in the very beginning of the when the punk scene was growing up in Brazil. So it's kind of like the daily life thing, like listen to like British and American band, but in Brazil all Finnish, and later in the world it's like it's kind of trained like listen to this kind of stuff.
But didn't you have like when the D-beat came? Didn't you have Discharge first?
Yeah,
or did you just have Cimex?
No, it was Discharge. Discharge was the first like hardcore punk bands in Brazil. Was like a KSK, Discharge, and Varukers.
And the locals?
And the locals, Hatsporão. Then they follow this trend, but at the same time they started to get like through like Fabio from Oliseco, they started to get like information and records and interviews from like bands from Scandinavia. So it was almost like the very beginning like in charge, but few years later like Scandinavian.
Why 12-inch?
Why 12-inch? Yeah,
why not?
Exactly.
What part of the Cimex experience misery do you prefer?
What do you mean?
Do you like when they sing about wars or drugs or system? Or
I like everything
collapse?
in the text. I think like the text is it's not that like deep and thoughtful text, but it's just like expression of anger.
Yeah.
It's for me that doesn't matter. I hate war at all, but it's not the meaning of the words, but the way it's the song is it's put out. It's like.
But don't you think that all these punk rock bands who sings about the First World War is giving us a fake, disturbance in our future? That we are waiting for the First World War, it never comes.
I agree with that. Actually, I don't like that. I like this D-beat trend thing of like bands like playing exactly the same as Cimex and Discharge and singing like, for example, in Brazil, there's no a declared war. There's like a social war, but it's a different thing. But I don't think it's. I think it's boring, just like seeing something that you don't feel. But I think like for back in the days in the 80s, it was this kind of like. If my parents they were like. They were scared if I would leave because it was the war between Iraq and USA in 85, 86, and they're like, we're gonna die. So it was a different period, and
It's the era of the war machines.
exactly.
Yeah.
But nowadays, like bands like sing like war, and there's no war, just like sing for like just repeat and themselves. It's just boring.
How long do you think you can repeat Cimex D-beat in other new bands? Can you just make it even better, or?
Better? No, you can make it different, but not better. They were like a single band because they played. I would say the beat before the beat was a trend. Like Avskum.
Yeah, about
Cimex.
Avskum. And you have this Brazilian band, Ratos de Paroa, and both these bands made this vinyl, Crucified by the System. Do you think it was a coincidence or just punk rock
I think
thing?
I could be wrong, but I think like they like the guys from Hasporan, they were really connected with like they were ahead from all the punks by the time there. And I think like they listened to us Crucified by the System, and then they thought there was no internet, so they thought like, okay, we can put in Portuguese the same title, and then just do it. No one's gonna know because it was like back in the day, the 80s, no internet. So, but I don't know actually, but it's a really funny coincidence. Like both bands at basically the same time they released like records with the same name. And I know the guys, they love Swedish, Finnish, Danish, and Norwegian bands. The guys from Hasporan, so I don't think it's just a mere coincidence.
What's your or is it like a common period of Cimex career, if you say it like that, that you prefer, like before the metal tunes, or do you like the total thing?
I like the total, but I would say that I cannot deny that the 7-inch Victims of Bombay changed all my perspective of like a punk thing. And that 7-inch and Ripped Ass, I love those. But I really love too the other records. But I think those two records, Ripped Ass and Victims of Bombay, is fucking great. It's a genius.
But as I guess you never saw them live.
No, never.
So,
never.
And I guess many of the punks today who loves these old bands, and Cimex is one of them. What about if they will get together, reunion? Would it be like fantastic or a fucking disaster?
I don't like that much like reunions. But still, if they reunited, of course I would be there, and I would see.
On which song would you go up on stage and sing?
Which song?
With Johnson?
Fuck that song.
You can choose free.
Ripped Ass, Victims of Bomb Raid. I love one song in the more metal time that I love. It's genius. It's Rose from the Absolute Culture of Sweden. It's fucking genius. I love the way they play like they play hardcore and they mix it later with like metal, but it doesn't sound like metal. It sounds like punk. It's hard to make it like mix in between and not be like a metal or a punk band playing metal. That's
And how is the attitude in Brazil against drugs in the punk rock scene?
No, it's gonna be hard to say because.
Okay,
Yeah,
next one. You know, if Cimex is gonna tour again, they're gonna offer all the in the merch tables. They're gonna offer the DB drugs. That's gonna make every cup in the world explode.
Yeah,
What do you think about that? It's like the super war machine in a pill.
It will be like that. I think like actually, it's funny what I want to say. They could make a lot of money out of things actually nowadays, and I don't care about that. But
What is the like? Is there some rumors back in Brazil like about the ban? What happened and what are they doing today?
there's one rumor I was talking before with my friend Andre. It's about like an interview Charlie did in maybe like 8, 9 or something in a fanzine in Brazil, and then he just said like it was translated from English to Portuguese, so it's and he said the question was what do you think about like homosexuals and anarchy and he just like, I don't give a fuck. It's just like it's anarchy, and then I got it, understood it. But people like the political correct people, they say like, he doesn't care about homosexuals. They turn around all the thing, you know, like they take like a short question and a short answer, and then they turn around, and then they try to say something that's fucking stupid, actually. I think.
So it was, I guess it was the crass people who tried to do that.
Yeah.
And who do you think is the bitch boy in the band of all the members?
The
bitch boy, the most cutest drummer in the Cimex career ever.
Charlie.
And anything you wanna tell the guys in the band, or if you could say hello, or
if you could say actually,
or something to the rest of the world. Also,
actually, I don't want to say anything for the world, but if I could say to, I met like Charlie once before, but we didn't talk. But shit, if I could say to any of the guys like Charlie and Johnson, I would say that they did a good job. It was great shit they did.
All right.
It was fucking great, and yeah.
All right.
I must say thank you for the guys for they did this fucking good shit.
Yeah, I thank you, Fabrizio. Nice to have you here.
Same, yeah. Thank you.
Cut. That was good, right?